Hello guys, how are you? I'm still here with actually doing some stuff to adjust. Then I am going to actually be live. Okay. So hello, hello. How are you? Do you have my voice? You should have it. Yeah. Okay, hello again. Let me show you myself actually. Uh, so you must be able to see me right now, and we will basically go live. I don't know who this follower or let's say subscriber is. I hope you are alright, and I hope everything is cool. So would you please tell me who you are? Just type in the chat box so that I can easily understand who the subscriber is. At least you can communicate with me. You can talk to me. I have some time. So I decided to go live and talk to the audience. And step by step, hopefully, our community grows and we can basically exchange knowledge and share our ideas and, you know, the information that we know. This is the new style of life, actually. We live in 21st century, especially after coronavirus, COVID-19. Our lifestyle has changed, and I think people will communicate via technology. That is it. You know, there is no other choice, unfortunately. Oh, we are like two people at the moment. Oni, who is Oni? Are you a follower? Are you a subscriber? Is life good? Actually, the life very, you know, don't ask me, don't challenge me with questions like life questions, because the concept of life is very deep and it needs to be discussed. Life is very deep, but what you said, you know, life is good. Is life good? Actually, let's say yes. I mean, it depends. Really, you randomly found me? Oh my god. Thanks for stopping by. Where are you from? Where are you from? You're from Philippines. Nice. So you have a YouTube channel, obviously. What is your channel about? Now we are 3 people. Hello again. What is your YouTube channel about? I see. Okay, you just watch YouTube videos, yeah. Okay, I see. Actually, of course, you know, people are not supposed to be content creators. We use YouTube. Everybody actually uses YouTube somehow. And for example, my channel is educational. I teach English actually. And but of course, you know, I love challenging questions. I do love discussions because I studied literature and philosophy. Uh, you know, this is a really cool community. As long as we set a sort of how can I say limit in our lifestyle, and we should not be that much how can I say dependent on social media or whatever. I mean, not just social media, on everything. Uh, as long as we are on the correct or right track, I think that is okay. That is all right. Do you stream often? Actually, recently, yeah. But it depends, you know, it depends on my mood and my psychology. Uh, I always say, for example, right now, three people are watching me. This is really cool. So I am talking to three people. Even if the person, I mean, only one person is online, I do appreciate him or her. So because I can speak and I can communicate, but generally I am a person who tries to create content rather than, you know, streaming, or let's say going live. Uh, I am trying to find some new ways to how can I say, to talk to others, like as a guest, as a I mean I want to host this show, and so that we can talk and discuss. Long time ago, I remember, long time ago, uh, we did a test. It was like 2017, or yes, 17 or 16, like 3 or 4 years ago. We did a test. It was we used Google Hangout. I remember, vividly remember. We used Google Hangout, and uh, there were a couple of people. Obviously, they were my students, and we talked about different topics. It was really interesting, and actually, I had a sort of you know, control room, so I could control people. I could mute, and you know, I mean, the newest version of this is like Zoom. Do you have you heard Zoom? Zoom platform is really enjoyable. Especially we need it right now because people are at home basically. Yeah, it takes some time to communicate, but that is acceptable. At least I am happy that you're listening. But the question is, what is your job? What is your occupation? What do you do? Any ideas? Okay. You're a college student. Wow. So what do you study? Which college, may I ask? Mm-hmm. I have not much to do at the moment, so I just wander around YouTube. Okay, or in Western University. Perfect. Nice. So, but the question is, what do you study? What is your major field of study? Uh, Computer science. Fantastic. Which grade? Which year? Let's say. Currently second year. Cool. So you're a sophomore, right? Sophomore. In English, they call it as sophomore. Hmm. Unfortunately, yes. It is not just you. Everybody uh, is in a huge trouble. To be honest, I mean the whole life, uh, is floating. I don't know how to explain it, what to call it. Yeah, people are in big trouble. Yeah, psychologically, economically, you know, uh, it is a huge threat for humanity, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Cool. Nice. Philippine. Have you been to other countries as a tourist? Have you been to Turkey? Mm, yeah. People think online classes can be useful because there is no other choice, my friend. There is no other choice. I mean, of course, obviously, we have two choices in terms of education, I always say. Number one, to wait until the whole situation goes back to normal again. This is the first option. The second option is we just start to spend time and keep our time, keep our valuable time, and instead spend it wisely, and maybe in the future we can do some other stuff. This is the only chance that I think it is very popular among people everywhere you go. Yeah, online classes cannot be that much effective if you are not into online stuff, or let's say if you are not comfortable with online education. In that case, yeah, you are totally correct. uh, people weren't ready, actually. It was a huge surprise. uh, Internet problems, connection problems, uh, there are a huge Do you hold online classes? Yes, let's say. Uh, I give lessons. I'm not a professor, by the way. I'm a teacher. Of course, I give online classes mm, to my former students from my previous workplace. I mean, language school. Uh, that's it. Yeah. You know, last night I wanted to try uh, something new on this live stream. I bet you know, or you have some experience with uh, the application called Kahoot. Do you know what Kahoot is? Most probably yes. Most probably. Last night I wanted to just um, how can I say, do that uh, experiment, let's say, with a bunch of people, but unfortunately people weren't ready. uh, all all we need is at least to have one player, but one player is not enjoyable. uh, let's say at least three people could be enough, or four people would be much more enjoyable and challenging. And each person needs to have two devices, like two telephones, or I don't know, one telephone and one laptop or tablet or whatever. And uh, actually, I would definitely, obviously, showed you some um, questions. Let's say listening questions for students, basically learners, and then you would try to uh, actually answer the questions on your, let's say, telephone, and the platform, the app, would definitely uh, actually would give you points. Yes, actually you spelled it correctly. Kahoot. Yes, Kahoot. Kahoot is a platform, an app that mostly English teachers know it. Of course, obviously my students, majority of my students know it as well. You spelled it correctly. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah. Hmm. You learned English from watching films. Fantastic. Can you explain it? I I wish we could go live at the moment, so that you could uh, give or share your ideas and experiences with us, especially with my students, so that they could learn. So how did you do that? I mean, what was your method? Childhood. Yeah. So you basically follow the what we call it as direct, or let's say direct method. Yeah. You directly actually submerged yourself into English. As you said, films, TV series, songs. Some people learn the language, not necessarily English, any kind of language, through songs, because songs are challenging. If you can understand them, if you can understand a challenging stuff, it is easier to understand, normally speaking, right? uh, yeah, possible. I definitely, as a kid, I watch English films all the time. Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, possible, definitely possible, absolutely possible. Yeah. So do you still study English, or how? I mean, do you practice English? Obviously, I think your university should be international. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what is the official language of Philippine? I hope I pronounce it correctly. Philippine, right? So, what is the official language? Philippines, something like that. Right now, again, we are. I mean, three people are watching, but I'm communicating only with Oni. I think it is not your real name. Uh, you can also type in the chat box so that we can communicate, share your ideas, ask your questions. And for my students in Turkey and everywhere, of course, happy Eid, happy Bayram. You had English classes. Yeah, obviously. Obviously, yes. Yeah. You said which university actually? Mindanao. Mindanao. I don't know how to pronounce it. Let me Google it. Where is it? Your university is somewhere in Philippine. Cool. hmm A private university. Located in Davao City. Okay. In the island. Wow. I wish I speak English more fluently, and so I engage conversation online. This is really cool topic. We always talk about it. Fluency and accuracy. We have two elements. Never forget. You know, native speakers are powerful because they have both of fluency and accuracy. Okay, this is for sure. Native speakers are fluent, obviously, and they are accurate naturally. Okay, non-native speakers should challenge, should challenge a lot, should challenge a lot to be fluent or accurate. But as a non-native speaker, if you want to have both of them, like if you just want to be a fluent speaker and also a sort of accurate speaker, then you have to spend tremendous amount of years and I mean time, a huge amount of time to just challenge yourself in order to be a fantastic speaker. So you might ask me, so what is fluency and what is accuracy? You know, fluency is obvious if you when you speak, you don't think too much. No, not just thinking too much. You don't stop or pause. Like, for example, there's a simple question, and in order to answer the question, the person might pause a lot. Like, so this is, of course, to some extent, it is normal. It is acceptable to have pauses, especially on some challenging questions. It is so acceptable and reasonable to pause. But if you pause too much, let's say the question is, what is your name? It's a very, very simple question. But if you want to answer it, you pause a lot, like my name, mine. So this is not fluent. I mean, the person is not fluent. Fluency doesn't mean that you have to be fast. No, this is a misconception among people, especially students. If you are fast, you are fluent. If you are not fast, you are not fluent. This is a huge incorrect piece of information. Speed is different. They call it as rhythm of speech. Speed is different, and so fluency is different. So fluency, as I said, you just fluently speaking, very clearly, fluently, without a lot of pauses. This is very important. On the other hand, we have accuracy. Accuracy means how accurate you are. How accurate you are. For example, especially teachers tend to be accurate first, rather than being, fluent, because teachers should be very careful about teaching material. They should be very careful about the accurate material that they are actually teaching and actually sharing their ideas with their students. So, what is accuracy? When you do not make a lot of mistakes, or rarely make some mistakes, pronunciation mistakes, grammar mistakes, vocabulary mistakes. When the how can I say, amounts of mistakes decrease tremendously, you're accurate. So, but as a non-native speaker, if you want to be both accurate and fluent at the same time, this is a huge challenge. For example, some people say, I ask this question from my native friends, and I say, you know what? How does it possible? How do you remember the phrasal verbs? There are a lot of phrasal verbs. How does it possible you use these phrasal verbs really correctly and very naturally? How does it possible? Do you know, they cannot answer this question. They say, ha 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 ha. This is their answer. And they say, you know what? We use these phrasal verbs, for example, naturally. So because they're native speakers, right? So because they can use this stuff naturally and correctly, they are both fluent and, for example, accurate. That is why they say, this is my mother tongue. My mother tongue means I have full control on the language. I know how to maneuver on language easily and swiftly. Understand? That is it. Let me read your comments. Actually, I couldn't read your comment. Sound like my problem. I talk English just fine in chat text, but when I speak English verbally, I stutter a lot. Why do I feel like I'm taking a class right now while I am in bed? Actually, this is a very, very good point that you told. To be honest with you, how can I say? For language, there is no limit. There is no limit. The only problem of every single person, especially students, is because they are perfectionists. They want to be perfect. And actually, this perfectionism stops you from being perfect. Understand? But if you let it go, if you do not pay attention to how can I say, grammatical mistakes, or let's say pronunciation mistakes, no problem, man, no problem. We should accept that the language English is not your mother tongue, and you are not supposed to be a native person. It is impossible. Even if you are a native speaker, or native like speaker, it is not the case. I mean, you need to have an accent. This is the beauty of a non-native speaker. It is my opinion, actually. For example, I speak right now. Am I a native speaker? No. I have an accent. Every single person has an accent. Even among native speakers, you go to America. America has 50 states. In each state, they speak English differently, as if they are not Americans. And you ask them, "Are you American?" They say, "Yes, of course I'm American. Why you're asking this?" They become offended. But their accents are different. You go to London, you go to Australia, Canada, Scotland, they speak differently. All of them are native speakers, but they have different accents, and that is okay. So first, remove perfectionism. This is the first case. Number two, practice. Find yourself a role model. This is my own experience, my personal view. Find yourself a role model and try to imitate. I bet if you you speak, I don't know what should I say, what should I call your language? Is that Philippines? Imagine that your mother tongue, whatever it is, you speak it because you're a native speaker of your mother tongue, right? This is obvious. But I am sure that there are some people in your country that they speak fantastic, absolutely beautiful, and the number of those people is not a lot. Everybody is not supposed to be a great speaker. No, people speak, right? But the question is everybody a fantastic speaker? The answer is no. This is my opinion. The answer is no. Some people actually can't speak very well, right? They can speak very well. So what happens? Filipino, yes, sorry for that. So in that case, for me, I would recommend you, or let's say everybody who is watching, to find yourself a role model. Imitate, follow them, try to use their catchphrases and pet phrase or whatever, and keep using them again and again, again and again. After some time, normally, why we say mother tongue because the language that we speak it, let's say, in a very fluent way. We receive it from our mother, because our mother actually was, or let's say is, of course, let's say was, the person, the responsible person who actually was responsible for our language, right? So I would say our language, our mother tongue, is very, I mean, the way we speak, let's say, the way we speak is very close to the way that our mothers actually speak. Understand? Because I mean, our mothers are the best, our first teachers. So that is why, actually, I want to say that we as kids used to imitate and follow our mothers. That is for sure, right? So you can do the same for English as well. You can find yourself a role model. There are a lot. You can find yourself a famous person. He or she can be a politician. He or she can be an actor, actress, singer, artist, anyone, anyone who is native, who you think that he or she speaks very clearly, fluently, beautifully, and he or she can use the language really swiftly and pleasantly. In that case, you can find him or her, and as a role model. This is my recommendation. This is what I did, and this is what I am still doing. Actually, I have a lot of role models. Yeah, a lot of them, and whenever I watch them, I listen to them. I focus on their phrases that they randomly, or let's say, of course, more often they use, and I try to imitate them. This is my technique, and I recommend you to do so as well. What else, guys? Why you are so silent? Please say something. You're just watching and listening. Of course, I appreciate it that you're listening to me, but communicate, please. Share your ideas, ask your questions, tell me about your ideas. We can communicate. Mm-hmm. Exactly. This is it. You know, this is very obvious actually. We cannot play the piano without touching the keyboard. It is impossible. It seems to be that we say, okay, I completed, let's say, 100 books about piano, about the psychology of piano, about the history of piano, about the notes, musical note sheets, this and that. I completed a lot. But when it comes to practice, I am unable because my fingers are not comfortable touching the keyboards, so that I cannot play the piano. But on the other hand, there are some people who do not know any musical backgrounds or any musical knowledge, but they can play piano by their ears in a fantastic way. So how does it possible? It is possible because they just used to practice. They use their fingers a lot, days and nights, and eventually they can play. Yeah, speaking is like that. If you do not speak, if you do not challenge yourself, you cannot improve it. So I recommend you listen more, speak more. If you want to be a good speaker, you have to be a good listener. This is the rule. And on the other hand, if you want to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader. They are, very related to each other. Do you watch a lot of films? I used to, yeah. I used to watch a lot of films and TV series, but recently, no, I can't. I want to, but I can't because I'm basically focusing on YouTube videos, and I try to create content for the followers and students. Yeah. But I can recommend you some nice TV series or films that I watched before. Cool. So are you still listening? I couldn't understand your identity. I mean the other one, the other people's identities. Anyway, I would very like documentations. You got any? Uh, you mean documentaries, right? Documentaries. Mm, Speaking of documentaries, the first thing that comes to my mind is uh, obviously National Geographic. Obviously, uh, you can find them on YouTube as well. You can find them on YouTube as well. Uh, there are a lot. There are a lot. Uh, but I don't have any presence of mind at the moment. Obviously, National Geographic, yeah. You can find them on YouTube. Yeah. Let me check it. National Geographic. Yeah, yeah. They have a YouTube channel. I highly recommend you to watch. Yeah. Let me show it to you. Okay. So, for example, you go here and you type in National Geographic, and they have a YouTube channel. They're fantastic. You can watch and enjoy. Plus, there is one I really enjoy it. Enjoy their content because they're really professional, and I can understand how much time they are basically spending on creating these contents. The channel is called as Vox. Yeah. Yeah, this one. Brilliant. Just brilliant. You can definitely learn a lot, enjoy, entertain, and yeah, definitely because these videos are, how can I say, sort of uh, videos that you can learn a lot. They did a huge research on the video, so that uh, obviously you can learn a lot. Yeah. I follow this actually YouTube channel. The channel course, I cannot read that, is your favorite. I would definitely take a note. Let me write it down. I would check it. Thank you for the tip. Okay, I will definitely. Is that in English or is that? Will it be beneficial for me too? Okay. Will I understand it? Cool, cool, cool. I'm happy. Yes, it is really surprising for me too. Why you are the only talking person? I don't know. They're stalkers, they just stalk and listen. But that is okay. That's okay. Now we are 4 people. Hello, dear followers and subscribers, friends, students, colleagues, everybody. Happy Bayram, happy Eid. Cool. Nice. Right now it is like a quarter to 10 p.m. almost. Yeah, really? What time is it over there? Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for paying me a visit. Nice to meet you. I hope to see you again. And have a peaceful night and sweet dreams for you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Likewise, nice talking to you as well. Cool. Take care of yourself. Cool, cool. So, what else? Others? You don't want to talk, you don't want to ask question, you don't want to actually uh, be part of the conversation. We have like 4 minutes. After that, I'm going to stop it. After 4 minutes, now it is 3 minutes, is going to be like 1 hour because I'm really hungry and I have to eat something. And let's see what will happen. You can ask your questions and I can talk about them. Yeah. If you do not talk, I cannot talk. Josette Vow. Hello. Hello, man. How are you? Are you a follower or you just found me randomly? Nice. I'm happy to hear that. Randomly? Okay, so where are you connecting from? And what do you do? Brazil! Oh my god, my favorite country! I love its football. Yeah, fantastic. I love Brazilian football. Really. I've been uh, following Brazilian national football team since I was like 8 years old. Yeah, yeah. I can easily and vividly, you know, remember World Cup 1994. I think it was in Sweden, and yeah, there were there were like Romario, fantastic, Bebeto. I remember. Captain Dunga, the whole, football team was fantastic, really. USA. Yeah, 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 you're right. USA. Yes, definitely correct. My mistake. Yeah, exactly. So what do you do in Brazil? Romario Bebeto. Yeah, Dunga. Tafarel, Claudio Tafarel, the goalkeeper. There was a really fantastic player, Bronco. Yeah, Bronco, I think. It was brilliant. Oh my god, really fantastic. Where do you work? Mechatronics. Brilliant. Cool. Yeah. Are you here with me? So, guys, if you do not communicate, I cannot continue because there should be a topic, a question, an idea, so that we can talk. But uh, you definitely need to uh, actually say something. Okay, so who else is with me right now?